Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus. A man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus. A man who trusts his wanderlust.
After continually lobbying at the Spanish court and 2 years of negotiations, he finally had success in January 1492. In April of 1492, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella promised Columbus that if he succeeded, he would be given the rank of Admiral of the Ocean Sea and appointed governor of all the new lands he could claim for Spain.
He'd be in Spain at the palace of the Queen. Christopher trust his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass.
On September 13th, 1492, Columbus observed that the needle of his compass no longer pointed toward the North Star. The needle instead had varied a half point to the northwest and continued to vary further as the journey progressed. Columbus at first made no mention of this, knowing his crew would be prone to panic with their destination unknown. In his first journey, Columbus visited San Salvador in the Bahamas, which he was convinced was Japan, Cuba, which he thought was China, and Hispaniola, where he found gold. After 29 days out of sight, out of land, on October 7, 1492, the crew spotted a immersed flocks of birds, some of which his sailors trapped and determined to be field birds. Columbus changed course to follow their flight. Land was sighted at 2 a.m., October 12, 1492, by a sailor named Juan Rodriguez Bermejo aboard the La Pinta. Columbus would later assert that he had first seen the land and thus earned the reward of 10,000 maravedis. Columbus called the island San Salvador in present-day Bahamas.
Christopher Columbus, a man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, a man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew. Columbus knew that the earth was round, and he said to Isabella the Queen, "If I sail west, I'm gonna..."
When Columbus landed back in Hispaniola, he realized that his men that were left there were either killed or killed each other. Columbus didn't seem to care too much, so he built a settlement and looked around for more things. He sailed around a little bit more to see if he could find some more people, but had no luck. Today, even where he did land, which was Haiti or the Dominican Republic, was barren of resources and didn't seem to be much of help. People were beginning to give up on Columbus.
Has ever seen. Well, the king had doubts, but the queen won out, as usually is the case. But she let him buy space in the ad book just to save his royal face. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, a man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass. Isabella bought the ships, and on August 3rd in 1492, the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria and a 90-person crew set sail to where they'd never been with business.
Ferdinand and Isabella actually sent another governor overseas to take care of Columbus and actually arrest him and put him in chains and send him back to Spain. Columbus and his brothers were jailed for 6 weeks before the busy King Ferdinand ordered them released. Not long thereafter, the king and queen summoned the Columbus brothers to their presence in their palace. There, the royal couple heard the brothers' pleas. They restored their freedom and their wealth, and after much persuasion, agreed to fund Columbus a 4th voyage. But the door was firmly shut on Christopher Columbus's role as a governor.
Its hopes and fear. They sighted land October 12th, and to this day each year, the 2nd Monday in October is Columbus Day. Throughout the whole United States, a minor holiday. Christopher Columbus, Christopher Columbus, a man who trusts his wanderlust to a crew, 3 ships and a compass.
So Columbus once again set sail, and he ended up going to Hispaniola again, where he was not welcome. Too many of the settlers remembered his cruel and ineffective administration. Nevertheless, he went there after visiting Puerto Rico and a couple other countries. He was hoping to exchange one of his ships for a quicker one. While awaiting an answer, he sent a word out that a storm was approaching, and the new governor should delay the fleet heading for Spain. A tremendous hurricane sank 24 of the ships. 3 returned, and only one, ironically, the one containing Columbus's personal effects that he wished to send to Spain, arrived safely. Columbus's legacy is mixed. He has been credited for opening up the Americas to European colonization, as well as blamed for the destruction of the native peoples of the island he explored. On the one hand, he failed to find what he set out for, a new route to Asia and the riches it promised. However, in what is known as the Columbian Exchange, his expedition set in motion the widespread transfer of people, plants, animals, diseases, and cultures that greatly affected nearly every society on the planet.